Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today, I want to talk about things I've learned about money. By the way, my name is Brian. Welcome to the channel. I was thinking the other day about the way I used to look at money when I was young. And at that time, I looked at money as the end. That, like the ends justify the means. And that's exactly how I lived. That's what I thought it was about, just to get as much money as I could. And then, as I've grown up and I've actually learned the right way to do things, and I've learned about building wealth, accumulating assets, I've learned that stuff. So I decided that I would share the things that I've learned about money, so hopefully it'll save you the 40 years it cost me to learn these things. Now the first one is biblical. And that is the love of money is the root of all evil. It does not say money. It says the love of money. And I can testify to that. Because when I was young, I loved money. I did. Everything was all about getting money. What a shallow way to live. If that's what your life is about, that's very shallow and you've wasted your life. That's a fact. So, the Bible is right. The love of money is the root of all evil. The next important lesson that I've learned is wealth is a game and money is how they keep score. And I've told this story before. Went to apply for a loan for a duplex, and the banker turned me down because I didn't have enough cash in the bank. To me, I thought I had a lot of cash. I had $12,000. And he absolutely shot me down. So I prayed about it, and I said, Lord, you know how I feel about money. I don't really care about it. But that's how they keep score down here, so help me with that. And he has. Wealth is a sport. Money is how they keep score. That's important. The next thing I learned is that money is a tool, not the end. You accumulate cash to buy assets, hopefully appreciating assets. And whatever they make, you reinvest into more assets. The goal is to accumulate appreciating assets so that over time you won't be able to help yourself but become wealthy. It's very simple. And I heard a variation of this one the other day. I was watching a YouTube channel, and the way that I've always looked at it is if you want to look rich, you're going to be poor. But if you look poor, you're probably going to be rich. What does that mean? Well, usually, especially young people, as soon as they get some money, first thing they want to do is go out and buy a car or go buy a new house. Nothing wrong with that, except you're making it harder for yourself to become wealthy by trying to look like you have money instead of knowing that you're just you're in a race, a marathon. So don't try to look rich. In fact, when I teach about accumulating assets, I tell everybody, I want you to live the next 10 years of your life like you're a college student. Use mass transportation. Get by on little or nothing for food. Do a house hack. Use public transportation. Walk. If you do that, it does not matter how much money you make. If you save everything that you can and then invest into assets, slowly at first and then more as you become more able to. The next one is, I just touched on a minute ago, is to reinvest all your assets. As an example, up until last year, the real estate that we own was spitting off income $300 or $400 per property, and we had 4 or 5 properties at the time. So I took that cash, I put a percentage of it in savings for emergencies, and the rest of it I invested in the market. That way I didn't have all my eggs in one basket. I had real estate spitting off cash, then I put it into the market, and that was spitting off cash. Always reinvest your profits. And I'll tell you a quick little story about that. When I was young and newly married, I bought my first little piece of rental property, and it spit off some money, and I don't remember what it was. So the first month, the first check I got, I went and bought my wife a ruby. Not in a setting, just a ruby. And it was a beautiful ruby. And that was my way of telling her thank you for tolerating what we had to go through to get that piece of rental property. However, I look back on it and I think, I don't know where that ruby's at. I don't have a clue where that ruby's at. But I spent the money and it's gone. Now I understand the game. Any money you make, you put a percentage of it in savings for emergencies, and the rest you reinvest. Whether it's in savings so you can buy another piece of property, or you put it into the market, or you put it into a index fund, whatever it is you do, reinvest. Do not pull the cash out and use it. There will be time enough for that. Another thing I learned about money, and I think most people that grow up poor or in the lower middle class, they think everybody that has money is evil and greedy. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. The people that have money are the people that know the rules and are willing to sacrifice to get what it is they want, and that's usually to become independently wealthy, and that is a worthy goal. Now, does that mean there are not evil and greedy people? Of course there are. Of course there are. And a lot of them are cutthroat. But it doesn't have to be that way. The people that are quietly rich, that you probably have no idea that they're wealthy, they're not evil and greedy. They're just frugal with their money, and they always are investing. The next thing I learned about money is that money does not make you anything. It doesn't. All money does is allow you to become more of who you are. What do I mean? If you're poor and a jerk, and then you get a lot of money, all that money does is allow you to be a bigger jerk. But if you enjoy giving, and you get a lot of money, now you can give more. It just allows you to become more of who you already are. If you don't like the person you are, it has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with you. Change you, and your view of money will change. And the last thing that I learned about wealth would sum all of these up in one. And that is, there is no secret to building wealth. Everybody, when I was young, I thought, I got to figure out how to do this. How do I become wealthy? How do they do it? Well, there's no secret. There's just principles. And those principles have been covered in my videos over the last few years. Live frugally. Live way below your means. Invest in appreciating assets. Always reinvest your profits. Never live flashy. And you do that over time, and you will become wealthy. You can't help it. And why did I say 10 years? Because, and Dave Ramsey said this, and I agree with this. If you stick to those principles, in 10 to 11 years, you will be wealthy. Now, you may not be filthy rich, but you will have enough wealth that you will not have to work for somebody else. It's easy to do. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you bought one house a year for 10 years. You'd have 10 houses. Let's say that each one of those houses is spitting off $500 a month. Okay? You're making $5,000 a month on your properties. $60,000 a year on your properties. Now, that may be enough for you, it may not be. But what if you did it for 20 years? The younger you start, the quicker you start following the principles, the more dedicated you are to achieving them, the quicker you will become wealthy, and there is no question at all about that. It's really quite simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Well, that's about all I wanted to talk about. As I was thinking about how my view of money has changed over the years, and now I think it's at a more mature, more logical, more provable method or principles, I wanted to share those with you. Maybe it'll save you some time. Maybe get you back on track. Well, you have yourself a great day, a great week, and happy investing.